to a degree, we represent the divine on earth. And God being a great lawgiver, we have to mirror Him in the way we administer laws, codes, and justice. And I'm really trying to dance around and not bash the Western ways or the common law, because it has its merits. But I'm identifying an all too common pattern. I'm still coming back to what you said about politicians. When Nigeria was preparing for independence, we were consulted on a regular basis. Traditional rulers were front and center of it all. Once it was concluded, they shifted and ran with it. And as we have seen over these last 60 plus years, we come across problems in the way we administer society. And for whatever reason, we struggle to go back and review. For whatever reason, I do not know the reason. But we should not hesitate to come back to source and say, okay, this is where we started. How can we reverse engineer the same people we consulted at the beginning? Stakeholders who have come up in the last 60 plus years. This thing is not flowing the way it ought. You all know the numbers, how long cases take at appeal court level, at Supreme Court level. Resources are wasted, lives literally are wasted, people die waiting for judgments to come out, and people are left feeling bitter, resentful, and honestly, we can and we should do better as a society, as opposed to sticking and saying this is the only way and we're not going to improve the way. So, coming back to source and review. Dispute resolutions, we have similar in our palace, as I'm sure we have in every single palace, as Kabisi has said. I believe, and your Royal Highness, I'm sure you can quote the law better than I can. You are the law. What comes out of palaces already in our constitution, I believe courts recognize those judgments, if I'm not mistaken. But because, once again, our people feel, I don't agree, I am going to the better system. We need to be supported, as Kabiyesi said, we need to be supported by the Constitution, by the law, and all of society. Because the palace, traditional rulers are here for the best interest of their own people. And where justice is at the grassroots of every system, as I keep saying, the land is alive. And the land knows when a just decision has been taken. And it's for people to trust that what is happening here is good, is true, and is righteous. And with that satisfaction, it may not meet what they wanted it to be. But when you get to the Supreme Court and you are given that same judgment, because there is no further court, you accept it after wasting how many years and resources. So simply as a non-lawyer, trust the system at the traditional level. And I think we will do better generally as a country. God bless you all.
Your Majesty, thank you for your submission. His Majesty made mention of satisfaction of the judgment. That is the reason why we are here. people cannot be satisfied by human nature. Look at the judgment that most of the judgment that have been delivered by the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court will tell you after here, appeal to God. You could still discover that people will never be satisfied about any judgment, but they don't have option because court itself is a creation of the. They will begin majesty matter from High Court. They will pursue it to the Supreme Court. What is the chief justice matter doing in the Supreme Court? I want to make an illustration that is a particular. Look, let me make use of my own. Okay, let me make a minor chief justice matter illustration. What was the vote of contention in that particular case? One of the particular house said when they were installing that particular chief justice, they supposed to make the three traditional heap. They will be on one, another family with another sheep will be on one, the sheep they want to install will be on another one. Now they now said that they made that installation without excluding him, that the process has not been completed. It's over 3 years. I inherited that case. Since over, I will be 5 by October. We are still on the matter. They went to the court, to the High Court. I know that maybe either of the party, they will still pursue to the court of appeal. What can the thieving man know? How can he interpret? Does it even have a meaning to him that because you are not on the traditional heap, I will now notify this particular chieftaincy? Whereas it is important to those people. That is one of the reasons why we have that. There are some subject matter, there are some cases that should start from the palace court and end somewhere in the customary court of appeal. They don't have any business doing even in the court of appeal of this. They should terminate it there. Law should be, legislation should be made to reduce so that this issue of congestion that the former CJN was inspiring to. Part of those cases are in the Supreme Court. Maybe because we are not satisfied, the lower court will pursue it to the Supreme Court. Let there be a legislation that will make it stop it amiss way. People will satisfy at the end of the day. They will come back home and solve their problem. We appreciate you for your contribution, Your Majesty. We now go to His Highness the Obi of Onitsha for his own contribution.
What we're doing today, whether my own presentation or my colleagues, will amount to just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the issues that are there. If we really seriously want to look at the relativity between traditional manner of delivering justice and the conventional contemporary manner, which is Anglo-Saxon. But